Dragon's Dogma. My god, even with all the flaws, I fucking love this game. So we're gonna do a let's play of it. We're gonna start a new game. Speaking of all its flaws, this is one of them right here. By starting a new game, your save data will be lost. There's only one save file. Huzzah. Fuck that. But goddamn it, I still love this game. I want them to come out with the second one. Hopefully fix that issue. We're gonna pick normal, but that's only very temporary. I'm gonna do something now, which might seem a bit tedious, just to make it so that later on, it really reduces the tedium. Because in this game, you have two types of levels. You have your main level, but you also have a class level. Your classes have like 10 levels that you can get on their own. And there's a ring you can get in the DLC area that makes it so that your classes level like 50% faster, and you can get two of them in the effect stacks and everything.
Have you a light source?
And I'll explain how the game actually works after I finish talking about this. But
the Dragon's Roost is just
so if you play on normal mode, you can go get that, and then you can switch it over to hard mode, which resets the whole game, but you keep your items, like they end up in your character's bank, so you can go get a second one, and you have them both on and have a stack, and that saves you a lot of time when leveling classes. Just run past those guys, they don't matter. So this game is fucking great, and I'm gonna show you how it actually works in just a second. So you see all the controls are listed on the bottom. You have your light attack, you have your heavy attack, and this is just one class as well. This is the class you play in the little tutorial area. You know, obviously you can sheath your weapon, you have a grab move as well. But when you hold L1, suddenly all your buttons that you can see in the bottom left change. Since the left hand is my shield, it changes it to a bunch of shield moves. There's shield strike. And these moves are also interchangeable. There's a lot of different moves. You can just only have 3 equipped at once. Symbol attack, which you can like spam for like... And then shield summons, which is like a taunt. Same with the right hand with the sword. Got your blink strike. Got your sword, the skyward slash, which is like good for flying enemies. And the hindsight slash. And this one, if you have iframes when doing the backstep, and if you do avoid taking damage because of it, it does bonus damage. But yeah, anyway. This game is actually a relatively old game now. It was back on the PS3. It had a release on the PS4 as well as the PC. It was also on the Xbox 360, but believe it or not, those servers are actually going down soon, which is a damn shame. The PS3 ones are staying up as far as I'm aware, though. I think it's because this game is more popular in Japan, and PS4 RPGs tend to be pretty popular in Japan, so I think it still has an audience there. Or sorry, PS3 audiences. That said, I would avoid getting this on the PS3 at all costs, because if the Xbox 360 servers went down, it's kind of only a matter of time until he grabs the dude, so I can hit that for bonus damage. If the PS3 or if the Xbox 360 servers went down, it's only a matter of time until the PS3 ones go down. I mean, I guess you can say that about all of them. But the PS4 and PC release and the Xbox One release, all still relatively new. So, don't have to worry about that for a while. But also, even if you do get the PS3 one, the community is kind of split because of how they released the Dark Arisen version. Oops. Gotta use the controls all over again. And the thing with that is, you can't... There's a lot less pawn functionality, which is like the little teammates you got. There's much less pawn functionality in the PS3 version, because if somebody has the DLC and another person doesn't, they can still use the pawns, or rather, someone with the DLC can still use the non-DLC pawns. But a lot of the functionality you get with them is reduced. Like, they'll still fight like usual, but you can't, like, give them gifts to bring back to their guy, or rate them, or anything like that. So it kind of diminishes it, makes it less interesting. Oops. Plus, I mean, if you get the PS3 one, it's going to run at like maybe 30 FPS. It's kind of finicky. Skyward strike. Oh, yeah, my mage set my sword on fire, so now, which is really good against the harpies. As you can see, one hit and they're just like, oh fuck, I'm on the ground now. Well, they did for me, but they can't fly when they're on fire, so it's particularly useful. This game has a lot of there's a lot of preparation to go with parties in this game. generally you can generally kind of figure out what you're gonna fight based on where you're gonna go. Like if you go to catacombs, it's like, okay, I'm probably gonna be fighting like undead skeletons. They'd be weak to like fire or holy, so I should find a party member that can cast holy magic or light our weapons on fire, etc., etc. And they're trying to put us to sleep with song. A lot of neat stuff like that. I'll be sure to skip all these in the when I switch over to hard mode. This first episode's probably going to be pretty long, because I'd rather get all the really tedious stuff out of the way in one really long episode that's like, even if it's like 2 hours long. I don't think it's going to be that long, though. But I'd rather get it all out of the way in one super long, tedious episode. I don't remember the Z's being like that. Was that something they added with like the PC edition? Also, I should end the joystick. Thank you for finally waking me up. Oh, and there's like little things you can unlock. I have this in the tutorial, which I won't have once I'm out of it until I unlock it. But like you can delay your second attack, and you do a different move. I think this. Oh wait, no. For the heavy attack, you hold it. Yeah, there you go.
I shall restore your health.
Our goal is
Thanks for the health. As you can see, my health bar and stamina bar on the bottom left there. There's a gray part of the health bar that you can fill. It's already filled, so you can't really see it here. But that's the amount you can heal through spells. If you want to heal beyond that, you need to like use food and stuff like that.
Our army is routed.
Now this is what makes this game so fucking cool, is fighting big dudes, because there's like latching on mechanics and stuff like that where you can actually kind of grab onto and freely climb around on something to hit weak points. Like I'm gonna go for the snake right off the bat, so I'm trying to grab onto that. Try to cut his tail off. Party's distracting. I'm gonna do this. There goes his tail. I'll try to take the goat out next. I fell over, so I don't need to grab one of them right away. Because the goat casts spells, and that's particularly annoying. The lion is just kind of like a regular melee fighter, which is easy for me to deal with because, you know, I have a shield and stuff. Still grappled despite him falling over. Goat's dead. This is all going really smoothly. The music's picking up because it's going really well. And there's also a kind of music that it's really rare to hear because the situation has to be extremely dire for it to kick in. To the point where usually you're dead before it's considered dire enough. But there is some music that'll kick in if it's like you're the last person alive in your group and like your like health is low and stuff like that. There's like actually like you're like fatally losing type music as well, which is rare to hear, but it's always the most intense thing ever. It gets me hyped up, and like sometimes I feel like it actually helps me like come back. I'm glad they gave me fire, because this guy is pretty resistant to physical. Alright, so that was just the tutorial right there. I mean, sort of. They don't really explain it that well. They kind of just give you a lot of shit and like, okay, go for it. But you're strong enough that you don't really necessarily need to figure it all out immediately here.
Take hold of what lies.
Which I would consider that a flaw of the game. One of many is that it doesn't tutorialize things very well. And countless lifetimes come to pass. Now I think I get to customize a character. when we switch over to hard mode, and I don't think you have to do the tutorial again when you switch to hard mode, but obviously skip any cutscenes in hard mode that it makes us watch again. But yeah, getting this ring is going to require that I go to an extremely hard area early on and just rush past most things. And then, you know, I do it again once I switch to the hard mode, and then I really gotta be careful not to get hit by things, because I'll probably get one shot in that area in hard mode. But I'm basically rushing to get, to progress a little tiny bit through the DLC by running past everything, because there's nothing that you're required to kill, up to this point. Up to that point in the DLC I'm trying to get to. So you can just rush past everything, get to a certain point, and then you can open a door that gives you a ring. And I just want to do that twice. So do it in normal mode, then you switch to hard mode because it resets the game, and then do it there. One thing I think is weird though is that I don't get why it resets the game and switch to hard mode, because when you're in hard mode you can switch it back to normal mode no problem, and I think you can freely swap between them after you've done that. So time to make our dude name. Oh geez, can I just type it? Yeah. There we go. This is a name for if somebody has like parental controls on or something like that, and they don't want you to see the character names. Mega Man, right? It's a Capcom game. And Mike, there you go. Bam. I feel like it should detect if you like entered a name that's exactly the same as one of those. But you know, whatevs. Who are we gonna be? I mean, we're gonna customize them further, but one thing I really fucking like about this game is you really get a lot of depth with character creation. It's like, it's not like it's super detailed, but it gives you a lot of different options that affect your character great deal. Like, look at this guy, he's fucking short, he's like a dwarf. There's no like race selection in this game, you can just kind of make your dude a dwarf naturally. And there's like also ears that can make your character look like an elf and stuff like that. That's like a way better system than like picking a race. Just giving people a big enough variety of options that they can just make a character look like that. We'll just use that as a base. We're going to actually change it up a bit better. Let's go with that. There we go. Detailed edits. Okay, preset faces. Now, we don't really care how the hair looks, because we can just change that. We're just kind of looking for more of a general face. Look at Fu Manchu here. Guy's not even. He's. Wake me up when the dragons come. We'll just, you know, the default one's fine. I mean, we will change the face. It's just nothing ever is really that good. There's a hairstyle I usually get. Where is it? Here it is. Details will change the color. You can unlock more customization options through like a special currency in the game, which is nice. Face shape. I might just keep that. Let's see if anything looks slightly better. Yeah, one important factor is you see the height and the weight listed at the bottom. Those actually have an effect on how your character handles. There's actually a lot of little things that affect how your character handles, which I think is really cool because it's like a single player game. If it was multiplayer, I think it would just kind of encourage everyone to make the same dude. Try to get optimal stats, but for a single player game, this is really neat. I like the default face. Pale as hell. Just like me. Ah, it's head size. We'll just keep that average. Alright, eyes, okay. I like these eyes. Let's just see if we can make them a little larger. Just a little larger. Some nice blue eyes. You can have different colored eyes as well, which is always nice. Spacing. Fine as is. Everything else is fine. He didn't get customized too much, but honestly, just changing the eye color, the skin color, and the hair type makes him look completely different. Okay, so now we gotta start the body type. Now this is where the height and weight really kind of make a difference. So your weight affects your equipment load, like how much you can carry, but it also affects your speed. Another thing that affects your speed is actually how long your character's legs are. That's also important. Height doesn't mean too much. The main thing is if your character's really short, there's some small spaces they can fit into that they wouldn't otherwise. Though they never really hold anything of super importance, they just might make it a little easier for you to get somewhere. So that's neat. Let's see, so stature. Let's see. We want to maybe kind of on the slim side. Ideally, and I'm not making this up, we want to get his weight at around 69, because 70 and higher, well, 70 to whatever amount is considered a average. And we want our character to be a bit light. So we want it to be 69 or less. Not too much less, though. Let's see. I think the rest we kind of make... I think we can make him a bit more trim through, like, changing other things like the torso. I think there's like a slimmer torso I'd usually use. So that wait, 71... Oh, I think this was like the slim torso. No, it was... I think it was this one I usually went with. Because, yeah, no, it kind of, like, lowered the weight quite a bit. Arms. I mean, those look fine. Let's see if there's anything else. Get some giant-ass monkey arms. Yeah, the base ones are fine. Legs. Definitely prefer them to have longer legs. 6, okay. Let's see. Oh, that's just stance. If we make him more muscular, we'll stay at 69. Oops. Oh, 68. Bam! Let's just keep it average. Or wait, what if we make him slightly taller? Yeah, I think that's what I usually do. I make him slightly taller and then... Oops. Dang it, whenever there's only one option, it just automatically selects it for you. No, this can't be what I usually have. I must have, like, slightly lighter arms, if that's even an option. It's not, maybe different legs. I always remember it was, like, exactly 69. Maybe that was it. This was probably it. This looks about right. Okay, stance. Slightly imposing. Slightly macho. Scars and stuff. This isn't a very important part of a Let's Play, I'm just saying. I'm gonna take my time. Should we go with the cliche eye scar? I'm thinking we should go with the cliche eye scar. Yeah, let's go with the cliche eye scar. Wrinkles. But I'm old man McGee. Okay. Facial hair. I do like the light facial hair, but I think there's something a bit better we can get. Oh, we need that to match our oh, not that one. Where was the... This was it. Yeah. Okay, there we go. I do like the little goatee. I like the very, like, light facial hair look. Yeah, let's go with that. No, let's not. Let's go with the goatee. Just because it looks kind of weird from the side, you know, it's like the graphic was kind of like... Maybe that. Yeah, let's give him this. Kind of reminds me of what's his name? I don't know. It reminds me of somebody. Makeup? Why not? Let's see what we can get. See if we can make him look kind of neat with it. Ah, there we go. Face paint. That should really get its own category, I'd say. I'm not digging any of it. Skin color, makeup color. Is there a paler one? I remember my guy being more pale than that. Yeah, it's down here. The paliest of the pale. Not quite that much. Maybe here. Yeah, that's better. Alright, I think I'll just about do it. Yes, I'm ready to play. Now, the lip syncing in this game is fucking terrible. On the plus side, your character is featured in all the cutscenes despite how incredibly different they can look in terms of their body type. Like, my guy can be half the size he currently is now and like 3 times as fat, and it would still find a way to make it work in the cutscene without it looking weird, which is really great. You know, like if I made him short, it wouldn't like, his head wouldn't be like off the bottom of the screen.
Hear ye, hear ye.
And I think it's because they use like camera angles that are fixed based on like parts of your character's body to make sure that it always kind of works.
The days come to lay down rod and reel and take up the sword.
Oh, arbitrary love interest. One of like the 30 in this game. And creepily enough, a couple of them are kids, and the reason why is because the game cannot distinguish adults from children because they're all made in the same, like, character creation engine thing. So you can make your character look like a kid if you wanted to. But yeah, it's really creepy. I mean, it's not like it's elaborate or anything, it's just like, basically whatever character of the game has the highest rating of affection for you when you get to a certain part of the game. You just like, it's just like, okay, you're my love interest. Just really fucking weird, and I think they probably should have taken a second look at that. You don't see anything weird, at least. Which again, one of the many flaws in that game. It's a hell of a flaw, though. Jesus. Is it just raining blood, or is like the water just like really dark with how the PC version of this game like renders colors and stuff? I found a sword. I will slay the dragon. Don't worry. Now I'm just gonna like spare the details of this fight. You can't beat him. You do 0 damage to him with each hit. But if you get killed by him, it just goes to the cutscene faster. So I'm gonna immediately get killed by running into this fire breath, just so you know, just to save time. Here I come to save the day. You know, it'd be cool if, like, when you selected scars and stuff like that for your character, they didn't actually show up until after this fight. Like, if I select that eye scar, it's just not there at the start. But when this fight happens and I'm laying on the ground here, it's just, like, a bunch of blood coming from, like, the dude's eye and, like, that line. And then when you recover after, it's just like, oh, you have a scar there. Cool. Oh, I should turn captions on. Actually, there might be captions. It just might not do it there because, you know, dragon language. Blah. that's my beating. That's my still beating heart. You ripped out my still beating heart. Well, that's the game, guys. We got the bad ending. GG, credits roll. Dude, the fact that you can even stay conscious for that long after having your heart ripped out is actually very impressive. I had like heart issues when I was like 18, and it was just beating much slower, and it was just like I felt like shit the whole time. Having it completely taken out, dude, you'd go unconscious in seconds, literal seconds, because your brain wouldn't be getting any new blood in it that has oxygen, because nothing's sending it there. But don't worry, he survived, because having your heart ripped out isn't a lethal wound. It's actually just dragon magic.
Help me! He's still alive!
Oh, there are captions. Okay, yeah, I guess it just didn't bother because dragon tongue nonsense.
Take up arms, newly risen.
I gotta say that there was some issues trying to capture this game when I was trying to like just get it working on the menu, because this game does not have borderless windowed mode, so you know. So that's always fun. And when I tried to capture it one way, it was being very framey. You know, it wasn't maintaining 60 FPS, so that was out of the question. So I had to tinker with it a bit. Eventually, I found a way to get it to work at good old 60 FPS. All right, so examine these, and it's like pick your class. Now, depending on the class you pick at the very start, can change your starting stats. And I think fighters, I just want the little extra health that fighter gets. Plus, if you pick mage, I mean, I'm not gonna be doing any magic. Probably gonna be playing as an assassin through most of the game, so magic is literally worth this for me. Strider gets like a little extra stamina, and it gets like a balance between magic and physical damage. And the fighter is just like, here, have more health and also more physical damage. So we're just gonna pick that just to start with. Like that shows you in all that armor, but you just get like a rusty ass sword and like a rusty ass plate. It's like, there you go. Here's your armor.
You say it left a glowing scar?
Yes. The wound has closed, and it seems the worst has passed,
But yeah, this is gonna be a super long episode. I can tell right now just by saying that 30 minutes has passed. Because I have to go do a quick mission, then I run back, I go to the DLC area, sprint the hell through that, and that process takes like, well, I mean, if you're really quick, it only takes like 5 to 10 minutes.
The whole world's already
But I gotta do that twice.
Won't no good come of this. I must go see to the others, Kina. Tell me if.
But yeah, in hard mode, the only thing that really changes, you take more damage, and I think you consume twice as much stamina from basically every action. Which I do feel that's like a lazy way to implement a hard mode, is just like, make it so you get hurt more with each hit. Rather than like, oh, well, you know, we change enemy spawns to make it like more difficult to deal with. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I played this game so many times that I put it on normal, it will be kind of trivial, so I'll need to take more damage. That said, this game is the hardest at the very beginning in hard mode, because a lot of things will like one or two shot you, so you gotta be careful.
You should be a vet.
Alright, so let's just get out of here. I do like the lighting in this game. It seems kind of dull right now, but as you get to different areas in the game, it looks really great. This game particularly handles darkness well. Like, when an area is dark, it's actually really fucking dark, and you need a lantern to see jack. And I think that's good. I like darkness actually meaning something, rather than just kind of being like a slightly darker color palette, etc., etc. This guy's name is Rook, which I believe is a play on words because these people are called pawns, so he's Rook. Pawns are basically people that have like the game's a bit keeps it a bit like vague, but basically they're kind of like people who don't really have a purpose for being, and so they kind of just obey orders from people.
They come from some unknown place, just appear without a warning. They're a strange lot. Not human, quite. They look the part, sure enough, but they lack the will, the spark, what drives us. They have no capacity to feel nor act alone, so they live as sellswords. Myrmidons, they're called.
Yeah, that guy just kind of explained it for me.
There's an encampment west of the village where men gather to face the dragon. I'd wager a fair number of his kind. Why don't you take him? Might be before.
Basically just being like, oh, red icons means quest or something. Or information on a quest you have, etc., etc. So we are gonna flip and book it.
To the encampment. This path should see us there.
Oh, we will kill these goblins to save this guy. Because it gives you a little cape. And I can definitely stand to get one in normal and hard mode and just have two of them. Because you have to get equipment for your pawn as well, not just yourself. So, it's nice to, let me just spam my special move to kill this guy quickly. So it's nice to get that cape twice. Okay. I'm a traveling merchant. Here, have a cape. Thank you.
I'll heal your wounds.
So you never want to run completely out of stamina. Oh, like I just did. I thought pushing in the joystick again would make me stop sprinting, but it's been a while. It doesn't. You have to actually, like, stop. I think you can also, like... Yeah, no, you do have to stun up like that. That's another thing I find to be kind of a flaw in this game. I wish that if you weren't in combat, sprinting doesn't drain your stamina. It kind of just makes traveling a bit more tedious, especially on hard mode when you lose twice as much stamina from everything. That includes sprinting.
If memory serves. I know the way, Master. Follow me.
Yeah, it's one of those stones I saw in the tutorial that made two pawns show.
Well met, Arisen. Can you we speak to you from across great distance? Pray, forgive this stranger, this rift. If you would claim to be a
Yes, I will prove my strength as the Arisen, which is what they call people who have basically had their heart ripped out by the dragon and are still alive.
The beast comes! Hurry!
You know, I don't really feel like you're much of a chosen one when you're chosen by the villain, but you know. I mean, you know, if you're chosen by the villain, couldn't you just pick somebody who he knows he can just beat the crap out of? You go in a room, it's like, you're not gonna be a villain, you have to choose somebody to be the chosen one to fight you. Like, on one side of the room is Hulk Hogan, the other side of the room it's like a toddler. That toddler's the chosen one. Stab his face! I'm dangling so it can't swing. There we go. Now, monsters will try to do things to get you off the face, but I'm kind of in like a pixel perfect spot to be able to hit him in the eye, but also not have his hand knock me off when he reaches up like that. I gotta let go, and I'm out of stamina. Did a lot of damage for a normal mode goblin. See, like, if that was hard mode, that probably would have one-shotted me. Cool, the fire finished him off. Now, you may have noticed he started out with, like, very little health. Because again, he's like a tutorial guy. Later on, they take a lot more to kill. There's a lot of really cool enemies that are like really big that you have to climb on and stuff like that. Like there's griffins and stuff like that. Now I've had moments where like some of the coolest moments is like when you're fighting like little wyverns or a griffin, and it's like you grab onto them and they're like, I'm gonna fly really fucking high in the air now. And you're like, shit, don't run out of stamina, don't run out of stamina, don't run out of stamina, I don't want to fall. Let's see. I think now I can go do the DLC thing before actually summoning my pawn, which I do kind of want to do that before summoning my pawn.
Well sturdy, this place.
No, I can't. Okay. Well, actually, this could be a good thing. I can essentially get more equipment. I can take the equipment from my pawn, use that, and then summon my pawn again, and then they'll have that equipment again.
With that, you are foundation.
Now, my pawn's going to be a bit more of a pack mule. I'm not going to make them, like, really heavy, but I am going to make sure they are, like, the medium one. I'm going to make this one female. Call them Fiona. Wait, what? Why was it, like... Wait, what? Why did it, like... Why is it... Enter name. Invalid characters... Okay, do I have to enter it manually with my controller? Left bumper, so... Okay, guess I'll try this with the controller. Left trigger? No. How do I... Left trigger, so... No, that enters the name. I don't want to do that. Whatever, here. Do that. Does it work if I do it like this? No. Okay, apparently that name is just not allowed. I don't know why. That's really dumb. Okay, let's use a bit more of an exotic name then. How about Bella? Yeah, that works. Okay. I swear to God, if Fiona is on here, I'm gonna flip my shit. Or, I should be up here. Okay, no, it's not on here. Well. Flush. We'll just have Flora be the, that name. Okay, which... We'll just select the base one, I guess. Just like the last one. Alright. Okay, so we want the weight to be like around 70. Hairstyle. I think that one's actually just fine. Change the color. Could go with like a blue hair look. Stick with the black. Face shape. I like 3. Let's just see how the other ones look. 9 is also good. Here's an easy way to compare. You select one, then you go over to the other one, you look at it, and then when you back out, you kind of see how it's compared. I'm gonna go with 3. Eyes. Oh, nice wide open eyes. I like it. Just giant anime. Fuck it, giant anime eyes. Why not? I need to be a little closer though, because that looks kind of far apart. One of those things where it's like whenever you change it, it always looks too narrow or too wide until you let it sit for a little bit. There you go, big ol' anime eyes. Why not? Those are tiny noses. They're gigantic noses. Kind of a button. Where to find good noses in games? Wish there was a slider that made you like kind of lower like the depth or increase the depth depending on what you need. Because I don't like how much the tip just kind of pokes out. Don't take that out of context. Degenerates. Or 2. Yeah, 2's fine. Moose. Big ol' lips. Really dark colored lips. Change the makeup or something like that. Nah, that's big ol' lips. Look at the perky lips there. Okay, ears. This is what I was saying before, you can make a character have like elf ears. Doesn't look good on this character though. Doesn't really matter, the hair covers it up. Let's check the hairstyles again. I didn't really give it a good look. There might be something that looks way better. Oh yeah, all the females can have the male hairstyles and all the males can have the female hairstyles if you want to. I always like when that's in games because sometimes there's like one male or one female hairstyle where I'm like, you know, that looked really good on both characters. And I kind of want it. How long is that hair? Okay, it looks like it was way longer than it was. Dude, Leon Kennedy. Ah, the bun style. Twin tails. Oh god, why do twin tails in games always just look so bad? I don't think I've ever seen a twin tail hairstyle in a game where I'm like, that looks great. There's like some DLC character hair, or like some story character's hair. I think this is like the one lady with the brown hair that's in the tutorial section. Nah, you know what? I gave it a look. I like this one. Nice kind of mid-length hair. Alright, now here's the tricky part. We want to get it to like 70. No stature. Could just make her real overweight, but that would be a really cheap and easy way to do it. And I have her also be pale. Let's see. Ripped as a Jesus. Well, I would put it over the weight amount. Oh god, those are like the least... Those are like the weakest shoulders I've ever seen. Kind of like that one. Okay, arms, let's see. I don't think these ever have... What'd you fucking say to me? Look at those arms. legs. Okay, so. Oh, it's fucking 69. I was like, I could just give her like the extra thick legs and call it a day. Actually, you know what's gonna be really funny? I was planning to keep this at default, but 70. Hey ladies, having trouble lifting things that are kind of heavy? Just get bigger boobs. Bam! Suddenly you can lift heavier things because, you know, you hit that 1 pound threshold that makes it so you can lift heavier things. That makes perfect sense. Well, doesn't look half bad, and it barely hits the weight minimum, so I think we'll just go with that. Okay, any scars we want to give her? We could have matching scars. Oh, it'd be adorable. Can also give her like a mole or something. Moles can look pretty great, depending on how the character looks. I think that the under eye one right there. Yeah, I like that one. Let's go with that. Wrinkles. Yeah, I'm assuming it was at the shallowest. Oh god, why? Okay, yeah, like her lips are really dark with this one, so I don't really like that one. Actually, I might not actually need to change the makeup, because you can change the makeup color and probably make it lighter if I selected like a white color. Let's see. Yeah. Wait, what if I selected? See if I can get like purple lippage going on. See, this is another flaw I think I have with the game, is that things like makeup are just one big category where you select a bunch of presets. I'd love if you can pick the eyes separately and the lips separately and like the blush separately and all that stuff. I know there was one you can like... Okay, we'll just go with that. Yeah, I think that'll do it. Also, I just realized, can you... No, you can't give female characters facial hair. I thought you could. I mean, not that I was going to do it, I was just curious. Oh no, I don't want to actually select that. Okay, back. Confirm. Okay, now this part... there's another part to it, I believe. Okay, yeah, you're asking questions. Now, this changes their inclination. Inclination is essentially their kind of predetermined combat behaviors. I forget exactly what all of them are, but I know things like Acquisitioner and Pioneer is like... Pioneer like makes them more likely to kind of wander off away from you. Acquisitioner makes them prioritize picking up items and stuff. Guardian, I think, makes them stay close to you and only attack things that have attacked you, which is kind of shitty, because that means that if you avoid getting hit, they just don't really do anything. I think Scather is just run around and kill shit. Although I think it's they try to kill weak enemies first, and they work their way up the tough ones. No, I think, is that Mitigator? That might be yeah, Mitigator does that. Challenger goes for the big enemies first. Which one's the one? No, Challenger makes them go after far away enemies, I think, like Rangers and Mages. Medicine makes them huge, I think. I'm kind of guessing on all this. Utilitarian, I think, makes them use their skills more frequently, like buffs and stuff, which is always nice. Either way, I believe what we want is we want to have like Scather and Mitigator up the highest. We want things like Guardian to be really low. Okay, this gives them the most Gather. Kill all enemies. Comrades in danger. Strike the strongest foe. Yeah, I know that challenger goes up a lot when you have strongest foes, so that one attacks strongest enemies. Kill all enemies gives them the most scatter, so I want that. Let's see. Even to me gives them that. Challenger, I don't want too much challenger. I mean, you can kind of change this stuff, all this stuff later, so let's just go with that. I note that I'm not even paying any attention to the actual questions, I'm just seeing what stats it changes. Because these questions don't really mean anything. Negator goes at more. Yeah, okay. We are also going to make them a fighter to start with, just so I can basically snatch their weapons off of them. But I think it's most likely I'll make them a mage or something. This video is already so long, but there's still a ways to go. I mean, don't get me wrong, the second time through all this stuff is going to be lightning fast, but unless it has me do the tutorial again. If that happens, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to... In fact, you know what I'm going to do? As soon as I get that ring and you see basically what I'm doing, I'll stop recording and I'll just do it again in hard mode. And when I get back to like this point, then I'll continue recording and you'll know that I have the ring twice in hard mode. That's probably a good idea. I do like the facial expressions on the characters in this game. Alright, Villa, give me all your shit. No, not equipped. I'll just give this one thing. Because that counts as armor for the whole body. So, don't have to re-equip her with all that stuff again. Because this is only temporary.
You'll be mine. I can...
He wants us to do like a training thing, but we don't have time for that. We'll do it on the hard mode.
What purpose do you suppose this place holds? Where could this gate lead?
Is it still not far enough? Do I need to fight the snake thing as well? Might have to.
Well,
Oh no, okay. You see that how there's a purple circle? Yeah, new area has been unlocked. You see how there's like a purple circle on the map? That's basically telling you where the DLC is. The main story for that. So we're just gonna head over to that. Now, oh yeah, I tried to push the joystick in to stop sprinting again. So this game doesn't have a very good fast travel system. There is one. It's just very what's the word for it? It isn't simplistic. You know, it's not like Skyrim where you went here, so now you can fast travel here whenever you want. You basically, there's 2 points that are always fast travel points that you can go to, but you need to use an item to fast travel, which you get in pretty large amounts later on in the game. Even not even that far in the game, you can get a ton of them pretty easily, and then not really need to worry about it. I think I also get one in the bank, like an infinite use stone. I think you just get that on the PC version, because I think people complained about it in console versions. And you can just kind of, oh yeah, this guy. That's the guy we saw walking away from the ogre before.
Are you come to lead the pawns in a quest to slay the dragon? Those equivocal husks. Will or nill, the Arisen is always drawn to the dragon, as puppets strung in fate's own thread. Many have come before you, eager to stand tall atop the grand capstone of worldly truth that is the dragon. Arrogance. The dragon is ever born anew into the world, and with it too, the Arisen. All Arisen seek out the dragon, but lucky are the few who attain an audience with the beast, while yet they live.
God, you're so hideously ugly, it offends me.
And little within it is more frail than man.
Also, you smoke tons of opium, I would
In our
imagine,
encampment, they
is why
gather
your
up
skin
their
is yellow.
knights and hired steel. They think
Also,
to
take a
grow
bath
their
or wash your
numbers and
hands.
hunt
Look
the
at him,
dragon.
Jesus. No, but seriously, wash your hands.
Their lot will e'er be as prey.
Okay, so the DLC is only accessible at nighttime. Or at least the start of it's only accessible at nighttime, so... Let's also grab stuff out of our bag. Yeah, see, no wait, these are... Well, these will actually be useful. Let's just go ahead and take these. Oh yeah, and there's special equipment. Oh yeah, forgot these were a thing. Don't need to worry about this right now, though.
What can I do you for? You seem tired, cousin. So be it.
Stay until nightfall. Oh shit, right. Oh my god. Do I lose all these if I go? I shouldn't. So, basically, whenever you rest, your pawn, gets a bunch of rift crystals from people who have borrowed your pawn. When you start a new game, it still retains the information of your pawn going to get those things, or it still retains the information of who your pawn helped last, because it loads that information the next time you sleep. So even though this is a completely different pawn, because that's all in one save file, it still recognizes that I had a pawn that was used. So now that I've slept, now that I've slept, it got all this information. So I basically just have a million fucking rift crystals now. That is an absurd amount. But luckily, rift crystals can't really be used on anything that breaks the game. So I'll gladly take this, because this lets you buy additional things, like new customization options. There's also an item you can buy that lets you re-customize your character and your pawn as much as you want. Like, whenever you want. You just go back to the main menu, you can re-edit and stuff like that. And yeah, this is a shit ton of stuff. And I think I know why people were using it for so long. It's because I had my pawn extremely min-maxed. Basically what I did was I built it so they'd have as much health as possible. Then I made them into a mage so that they can like cast healing spells. Even though they didn't have the highest magic, I don't think healing spells are affected too much by that. And I gave them a staff that makes it so that whenever they go down, they automatically self-revive after a few seconds. And since they have a huge health pool, that means they revive with like half their health, so they're really hard to kill. And they're really hard to keep down. So, my pawn was very min-maxed and very good, and I think that's why so many people used it for so long. So yeah. Yes. And yes, it should... Oh my god, plus I have a bunch... My pawn now has a bunch of information on, like, areas and quests. Like, look at that. 71 unfamiliar foes it has new knowledge on. 52 unfamiliar quests it has new knowledge on. And a bunch of areas. So that's cool. And 4 stars across the board, because why not? I think I mentioned in Dark Souls that the star rating system is utterly pointless and dumb, so... yeah. But... And the reason why is because all the information about that pawn is just on a spreadsheet that anyone can look at before they rent it. And that information pretty much determines exactly how your pawn will behave. And like if another person's pawn has that same information, there's nothing that will be different about your pawn and their pawn. There's not like little tiny details you can change. You can see everything about it. And so if you get a pawn and you don't like how it plays, it's the summoner's fault for grabbing that pawn in the first place. So there's no point to have a rating system. But yeah, I'm gonna stop before I ramble about that too long. Oh, wrong button. So used to hitting X to talk to people.
Then you are one known to the dragon. I have dire need of the Arisen's strength.
Yes, I will lend you my aid. So now we're going to the DLC area, which is hard as balls, which I freaking love because it makes it like a true end game thing. I'd much rather DLC areas add like a more elaborate end game than anything else, especially in RPG where you can level up to absurd amounts and just be overpowered. Granted, you can become so overpowered in this game that you can be considered overpowered even for this overpowered area. But it does take a lot of work. You have to get a lot of really, really hard to get rare equipment and stuff like that.
We stand now on
Of course, it's mitigated a lot by doing save scumming tactics, because you can look up online like certain chests can drop like certain pools of items, and you can just save before doing so. And if you don't get what you want, you can use an item that like literally lets you stab yourself in the chest and die. You can't make this crap up. And then you can just load your game, and then you're just right there.
Were it possible, I would not send you off with so meager an explanation. But I fear I myself do not know it better. My past, my aims in coming here, all of it is lost, as in a fog. All I know is that I, like you, was called here, and am bound to stay. I sensed you in the distance, and called to you for help.
Yeah, that's nice. I don't really care. Anyway, this is also very handy because you can use her to change your class a bit earlier.
If there is aught I can do.
But I can't change to anything interesting because you need to have... you need to be level 10 before you unlock the other 6 vocations, which doesn't take too long.
I shall aid you however I can.
So,
Therein lies my own
we don't want to return yet.
Pray, take...
Okay, so, time to book it like a motherfucker. Doors is open, you're not missing anything.
It's difficult to breathe down here.
See, in this area you have unlimited stamina because it's like a hub place. In towns you have unlimited stamina. So that's nice. I mean, it's not really much of a town, but, you know. Now we run past everything like a crazy person because we will get murdered. See these dogs? They'll freaking murder us. Not necessarily in one hit because we're on normal mode. Oh, don't sprint her out. I keep trying to push in L3 to stop sprinting, but it doesn't mean anything. Snakes on the ground. Ow. I got poisoned. That's bad. I don't think it'll be deadly for us, but it still sucks. Oh, and that's a little incarnation of death. So you want to watch out for him. He's a real rough and tumbler. I'm gonna make a quick little side trip and grab the item up here because it's like a cursed item and it has a chance to be like a really good lantern. And you can only get a better lantern in the DLC, which is really nice. So it looks like death hit one of my pawns, basically instantaneously killing them because that's unfortunately one of death. Oh no, it's just it's a piece of armor. One of Death's special moves is literally just instantly killing a pawn, no matter how much health they have. It doesn't just down them like it normally does, it straight up sends them back to the void, which is like the place you summon them and stuff like that. So, you know, don't want to get hit by that. You notice that there was like 1 out of like those 10 things that gave me rift crystals, one of them said it didn't do anything. They probably got hit by death, and as a result, they weren't able to properly send the pawn back. And I got nothing for it. I'm the cheeky one. Look at my golden daggers. As if how cheeky I am.
Welcome, good Arisen. 3 days this one. A week, perhaps.
Until I beat the boss, right?
A favored game of mine, guessing the lifespan of those who enter these halls. Nothing personal, mind. And rest easy, friend. 3 score guesses here now have yet to hit the mark once.
That poison's gonna slowly kill me.
Someone? No.
Oh, and my mage died from the thing, so he can't heal me.
You don't regret it. Wouldn't it be?
Can I buy anything from you? I don't have much in the way of gold. Can I buy something that will cure me? Cures all the... Wow, that's really nice. I'd like something that specifically cures poison, though. Doesn't seem to be much like that. Well, we'll buy like the cheapest healing item we can find that actually heals. Because that'll be nice. Here, let's buy 3 of these. These heal. We might need them.
No, no dying.
So the ring we're gonna get is actually really close to me right now, but we can't get to it without a key. It would be... It'll be in here, I believe. Yeah, it should be in this door right here, but we need the key for it. Let me just double check and make sure this one, because no, it's not this one. That's actually just a whole different load zone. Okay, oh, whoops, ran out of stamina. Oh, I hope I don't die from this poison. I don't think you can actually die from poison. I think it just gets really low. I kind of want to let it run out. Jesus. Health's nice and low now. Oh, right, okay, yeah, I need the key. I need to go over here, and I get to the end of this area. Then I get a key that lets me go in there, and that's where I get the orb. I need to unlock that door. And then as soon as I get it, I put it on, I switch to hard mode because that resets the game, and I rinse and repeat the whole process, but I'll do that part off camera. I want this poison to run out so that I don't have to worry about it, and then I'll heal. No, I'm not alright. You see my... This is also a good way to test if I actually die from poison. I think it just brings you down to 1 health. We'll find out at the next tick, though. Oh! You can die from it. Good to know. Retry on easy mode. Fuck you. So where's it gonna spawn me in? I think just as soon as I enter the room. Damn, that makes things much more harrowing. I need to have a means of getting rid of this damn poison. I mean, I know how I can do that. It's just I don't want to have to spend the money on it. I wish what's his face was still alive. He can do it. Yeah, cures all debilitations. Yeah, fuck. Fuck. A lot of money to pay for a thing that cures everything. And using it just to cure poison. Oh, it also healed me. Okay, that's nice. Fucking goofy ass rolling around. I really hope roof crystals don't get reset upon I think I need to interact with this door, and then it's just like, oh, can't go there. I really hope roof crystals don't get reset upon going to hard mode. I mean, you keep your level and your equipment and your gold, I think, so I don't see why it would reset that. Because that's just a shit ton of roof crystals. Roof crystals is like one of those things where you don't really want to have to worry about it in the game, but you kind of have to. Especially in the DLC. In the DLC area, it adds ways of you getting more roof crystals, but it also has things that cost roof crystals. So just having a shit ton right off the bat is really handy. Okay, so here's a little shortcut. Okay. Run past all these guys. Let my stamina go up a bit. One thing that really scared the crap out of me when I first did the DLC is there are mimic chests in the DLC. There aren't any in the main game, just the DLC. So, you know, playing through the entire main game without any mimics, and then suddenly mimics, scared the ever-living shit out of me. Except they're not really like truly mimics. They're like there's like worms that hide into it, but it's the same as a mimic. You open it up and it's like, oh fuck. Downside is you can't like stab them before. You can't like stab them to make it. Oh, my pawn's dead. That's fine. Don't need him.
My beloved,
That's a big dude. You can piss him off and make him fight you. Don't want to do that though, because I want to live. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh. Let's just go ahead and heal on up here. Just interrupt his casting there. I'm on fire! Interrupt his casting. Oh, I'm dead. See, this is the hard part. Getting up to the top there. Once you get up to the top, you're all set. Everything else is easy to run past. But otherwise, getting to the top is a pain in the ass. It's gonna tell me my main pawn's forfeit, right? There you go. I was wondering where you're gonna show up. Let's put this lantern on. Because once we get to the top and once we get the thing we need, we can just use the little things in my inventory there to warp out. Yeah, keep in mind, this is normal mode, and these guys are still, like, one-shotting me. Okay, maybe I should approach this more carefully and just kind of sprint when I need to. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, okay, never mind. That did not work out too well. Maybe I should just use those things to... Oh, God, they're just fucking me up on this little cliff here. There's not really much I can do there. I was caught in a rhythm where they can hit me every single time I went up that cliff. Yes, my main pawn's forfeit, right? Right? There we go.
My beloved, I had hoped to leave this life.
Maybe I should have picked a Strider. You get double... Actually, no, you don't get it from the get-go, so it actually wouldn't have helped. Try to avoid it. Okay, here we go. I have a plan, and it is to keep sprinting, and instead of using these for health, use them for stamina. I mean, I also got health from that there, too, that time, but... Oh, come on. That was a one-shot? As I said, hardest part is this bit right here. It's worth it, though. It saves so much time later on getting this ring. Especially if you want to... Because you want to play a little bit as every class to unlock their special, like, class skills. And so it saves a lot of time. So maybe there's a skill in a class that you don't really want to play. It saves a lot of time later on. Okay. Sick dodge. Nope. Oh, shit. Fuck these gargoyles. Interrupt you. Nope, 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 nope. No, 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 no. Just gotta get the thing. Get my stamina back. Bam, got it. Now we use this. That is the means of fast travel. That's a special one for the DLC area. I teleport you back to the start of the area. Having my pawn there might have actually been helpful for the sake of making it so those guys had a distraction. Either way, I shouldn't need my pawn anymore from this point. So let's go ahead and rest at this thing, get my health back without needing to use an item. Okay. Another flaw I've had with this game is when you level up, rather than being able to spend your stat points, you just gain points dependent on the class you are when you level up. Which I wouldn't mind if they also changed when you switch to a different class. Like, I kind of wish every single class had their own preset points. So, like, a fighter that, like, if you're at level 200, a fighter, if you're a level 200 fighter, everyone else who plays as a level 200 fighter, even if they played as a different class the whole time, and then switch to that fighter, it would have the exact... Oh, God. This is what I was talking about before. Oh, don't kill me. Okay. Not gonna bother healing because honestly I'm one hit away regardless from most enemies. Most enemies shouldn't be able to lay a finger on me, I think. Because I think most of them kind of spawn in as I'm running by. Hey, you were right, man. I mean, you weren't. You said 3 days, maybe a week. I died in like 3 seconds. And like 5 times. So that's a thing. Yeah, this is kind of like similar to how at the start of Dark Souls, maybe I would like go down the Grave Lord Detail and get that sword. Because it's really nice for the rest of the game. That's like this ring. It gives you a nice little boost for like the whole game. Or at least gives you a big ol' head start, which is really nice. And it's totally worth getting. And granted, if you're a new player, maybe don't. I mean, you obviously can. I'd recommend playing on New Game the whole time. The only reason I'm doing this is because I'm also going to switch to hard mode. And then I can get the ring again and stack it. For a new player, just play the game normally, and then when you get to this point, go ahead and get this ring. It's not vital. It just saves time if you want to farm up specific augments for classes, which isn't really something you need to worry about as a new player. There's only something you want to do as like a advanced player who's played the game a bunch of times. And wait, it wasn't this way, right? I think it was this way. Yeah, it's this way, and then you run past these guys. Hi, what's it called again? Cockatrice, something like that. It can turn you into stone, which is an instant kill. I mean, you get a chance to cure it. You like get hit with it, and then you're turning to stone, and you're like, fuck, and you gotta cure it. Because if you don't cure it in like 45 seconds or like 40 seconds or so, you just turn to stone. And it's kind of interesting to see happen, because it's like your character just starts moving slower and slower until it gets to the point where you're moving at like 1% of your speed for like all actions. And it's like, you're gonna fucking use your thing to cure yourself? No? Okay, you're just stone now, you lose. Here's the thing I needed. Moonbeam Gem. Also, it's probably not gonna, I mean, I'm sure most people have clicked off the episode at this point, so they're not gonna hear this, but there's not, probably, wait, no, it wasn't down this way. No, it was over this way. There's probably not gonna be an episode of Dark Souls for a couple days. Not because I want to make Dragon's Dogma the new main thing. I'll mention this at the start of the next episode as well. Not because I want to make Dragon's Dogma like the new thing or anything like that. It just, I haven't been in the mood to play Dark Souls for a little bit. I don't want to burn myself out and make it so that I just never want to play it again. So I'm just taking a break from it for a couple of days. And I don't really have any more backlog left. So it's just going to be Dragon's Dogma for like maybe like 3 days or so. Which is fine. I've definitely been in the mood to play some Dragon's Dogma. I get it. Health is low. Oh, damn it. I know that once you progress a certain amount, this area is like filled with fucking monsters and they're horrible. Alright, so this is where we want to put this. Boop. And it should be called like the Ring of Perseverance or something like that. Bam! Fucking. Also, I should have saved, because I just remembered I don't think it's necessarily a guaranteed drop. I think, no, actually, I think it is. But yeah, if, details. Ring imbued with a mysterious power, it increases the discipline earned by the wearer. Discipline is the experience point type thing you get from the class's individual experience. So, we got that now. Let's make sure we save. Save and return to title screen. Because I think we need to be at the title screen to change it to hard mode. Now in hard mode, not only are things harder, but you also gain a shit ton more EXP and a shit ton more gold. Like randomly, enemies will just drop these giant bags of gold that give you like 10,000 gold. It's pretty frequent too. Hard mode. Play the game on hard mode. Increases the damage player takes and stamina consumption rate. It also greatly increases gold received by defeating enemies. Previous data will be overwritten and will restart the game from the beginning. However, all your experience, items, equipment, gold, etc. will be carried over. Start game on hard mode? Yes. And now, for some reason, now that I'm switching to hard mode that way, I can decrease the difficulty back to normal and then back to hard whenever I want. It's really weird. Countless. Okay, so yeah, it's skipping the tutorial, it seems. Confirm. It keeps all the information for your character and your pawn. So you just jump right into it. So I'm gonna get to the part where there's not stuff going on, and then I'm gonna cut the video, and then I'll begin recording again once I catch up to where I was. Or maybe right before. There's a few quests I think you can do before getting your pawn that you miss out on if you go do that, so I'll redo the bit with the ogre again. Can't skip this. But yeah, my Ring of Perseverance should be in the bank now, because you just, whenever you go into like New Game Plus or something like that, or enter hard mode, it just puts all your equipment in the bank. Anywho, that'll do it for now, guys. Every episode from this point on. Maybe the next one will also be kind of long, because I want to catch up to where I was, at the very least. I don't know how long that'll take. But everything after that should be like your standard 20 to 30 minute episode. But yeah, I hope this game looks interesting to you guys, even though I'm kind of giving it to you from the perspective of like somebody who's played the game a bunch and is kind of like, I guess you can say it's like cheating the system, because I am giving myself like a time-saving advantage by doing all that, but and you know, it's very much out of order and kind of weird as a result. But maybe it piqued your interest. I know a lot of people actually haven't played this game, and I know it looks a bit shabby with the graphics, but trust me, there's some areas in this game that just look stunning, and it's just really fun to play. I definitely, if it's on sale on Steam, it's a game I definitely recommend buying, despite all of its flaws. And I really hope they make a second one. They have an MMO out in Japan of this game as well, so maybe if you have like a VPN and you want to give it a try, you can do that. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. You have,
walker of the path, take up arms.
Shut up. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one.
To me.